Knowing at any time a woman can just flat out break the vows and just cause utter and total destruction of a man at any given time from divorce and family courts is all the reason to never get married in the West. Marriage is BS, and dating single mothers is also the worst thing a man can do. It's really slim pickings for men out here. Most women today already come with kids or have been divorced at least once. None of these women are special but demand the most ridiculous stuff from a man and expect him to comply for life. In the past, marriage was a holy union between two people in love who had their own goals for the future and a family. It now appears that when a guy marries, he also marries his wife's in-laws, her friends, and all of her co-workers. As a result, every time something goes wrong in a marriage, all of these individuals have an opinion about why the marriage is failing. All the advice from family, friends, and co-workers will only help if couples are able to resolve their issues amicably and with the assistance of expert counseling. Forgetting about the institution of marriage right now is preferable. It's easy to conclude that contemporary women simply desire their wedding day and the notion of marriage. They do not intend to become wives. Instead of wives, women want to be brides. They don't want to put in the time and effort necessary to progress past that one special day as a couple. They just want the grand fantasy wedding. Due of how demeaning being a wife is, they don't want to assume that role. Men have generally kept their conventional roles, whereas modern women have modified their gender norms to individualism. Times have changed dramatically with divorce law inequality, and men are being hugely disadvantaged legally and financially. Men are learning the hard way that the risks are too great to be associating with these modern women indoctrinated with feminism. If you want to get married, you should have at least a year, ideally 2, of personal, meaningful relationships with the person you want to wed. Never allow someone to pressure you into it. Also, never get married to someone who has nothing, accomplished nothing, or has no knowledge. Finally, men have realized that everything is a formula for unhappiness. In fact, love can be harmful. A drug, that is. You long for it, you desire it. However, consider the cost you paid for it. Too many women today, even those who are much younger, are, among other things, self-absorbed and self-centered. Modern women are rarely peaceful at home. A case in point, if you will, an illustration. In my late teens and early 20s, when I was much younger, we all hung out with the same group of pals. There were 2 absolutely stunning women in the group who had perfected their appearances and lines to say in order to attract any man. And they made use of it to their benefit. Fast forward a few years, and I just so happened to run into one of them. She was a complete train wreck in her late 30s who appeared to be a zombie and claimed that nobody wants to be around her. Nothing was hers. Not even a car. I'm sad about her. She was cautioned, but she ignored it. So be it. I'm sorry again, but I've heard that the other woman died from drug misuse after leading, or whatever you want to call it, an idealistic existence. You'll regret being alone when it happens. Many of our women have been damaged by feminism, fast food, social media, and the courts. So regrettable. The main reason why men don't want to get married is because the marriage contract includes not only you and your intended, but also the state, which will use force to ensure that you uphold your end of the bargain while supporting the interests of the divorcing wife. Don't even mention how you want your relationship with a lady to develop, or where you want it to go when you first start dating her. The woman will eventually broach that issue, and when she does, tell your reason for not wanting to be married. If she's not willing to abide by your wishes and insist that you marry her, then she's not someone you would want to be married to anyway. These women have an agenda and ulterior motives. She breaks it off because you won't marry her. She's done you the biggest favor a woman could ever do. Take the opportunity to run and don't look back. Women know the state is on their side from the very beginning. They know this, and that's why they're always so keen and eager to trap you into a relationship, and then into marriage. They know that it's a win-win situation for them. They get married to you and suddenly they have access to your resources, your money, and your assets. Women often use marriage as a means to step up the social and economic ladder. They buy their favorite clothes, eat from the best restaurants, and travel on the basis of their paycheck. Win for her, loss for you. And if you get divorced, she gets to receive money for child support, and she probably ends up owning your house and car. Win for her, major loss for you. So, gentlemen, I believe there are many benefits to remaining single as opposed to getting married. You are in charge of making decisions. You are free to lead the life you wish. Enjoying what you earn is a given. You lose everything when you get married. including your happiness, financial prospects, and self-worth. I can honestly state that remaining single will prevent you from a lot of hurt, despair, anxiety, and stress, but I'm not suggesting it will guarantee you happiness. Therefore, choose prudently. Am I going to be happier if I decide to remain single, or would getting married be better for me? Better or worse, it is a matter of opinion, and each person has a different viewpoint based on how they view relationships. In my perspective, being married does give the impression that you lack self-control. I'll be honest, I don't think much of married men, none. I'll also explain why I believe it. Guys, in order to be seen as men, we need to hold certain values and ideas. What I mean when I say that we shouldn't be forced to do anything is clear to you. I think almost everyone agrees that men are frequently treated less favorably during divorces. All men are aware of it. Who among the men with basic sense would still want to get married in such a situation? Men who are easily tricked into believing they are indispensable to them for the rest of their life are the only types of men who marry. These same men are the ones who suffer the most during divorce proceedings, having to part with their life savings, give away their homes, and pay child support for the rest of their lives. They are also the ones who are used and mistreated by their spouses. Get a puppy or a kitten if you want company. Why do you deliberately involve the state in your affairs when you constantly see what happens to men who must pay alimony, when the woman gets to keep the house and receive child support? What about males who genuinely want to have kids? Listen, I completely agree with you, but you should be extremely picky about the partner you decide to have a family with. And you should be aware that after you get married, the entire legal system becomes involved in your relationship, because if things go south, you'll be the one who suffers. I can't respect married men because of this. We are expected to be devoted to our goal. It is our responsibility to improve our own lives, instead of being interrogated by a woman who places ultimatums on our shoulders and makes us feel as though she will leave us and seize our assets. If we don't marry her, we should be pursuing our passions. These are the actual causes of guys no longer wanting to get married. The fact is that men don't want to marry anymore because the risk outweighs the benefits. There's a risk that comes with a marriage that essentially only benefits a woman. A man marries you and can only hope that you don't wake up one day and say, "I feel like I don't love you anymore and I want to leave," and you can't do anything about it. 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated women, that jumps to 90%. Do you know what's crazy? Women don't even have anything a man actually wants that they can bring to the table, but expect men to serve them like robots. That's why marriage is a major no for men. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support, so please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.